noise that might come about from something going on in your home. But feel free at any time to unmute yourself and ask me any questions that you might have. You can also use the chat box. If you're watching this class in the lounge, Hannah, who's our technical assistant, she'll be monitoring the chat there. So you could ask a question in the lounge as well, and then she'll bring that over into the Zoom meeting, because the two do not talk to each other. They're separate entities. So feel free, to absolutely ask any questions that you might have. But on that note, I'm going to get started. Do I say welcome to everyone else who's joined me since I was doing my slides? So that's Doris, welcome back, and Liz, welcome back, and Pamela, and Renee, and Kathy, and Gladys, all right? All people that have been before. So thanks so much for joining me again. Now, on that note, I'm going to put myself on a bigger screen. There's always so much to go through, isn't there, before we start? There I am. So if you prefer to see more boxes on your screen, you can change your view to gallery view. A thing about props that we're using in class today. I'll just go over that behind me. We will be using a block. Now, this is, I have here, it's a yoga block. It's a cork block. You don't have to have a yoga block. You can have a book or like a little step stool, or if you are near a stairwell, a staircase somewhere, you can use your bottom step to stand on. Something that is going to take your body weight, that you can stand on it, right? So that's one of the props we'll be using. I'll also be using a half dome. Oh, sorry, I've just got to grab my towel. Unprepared. All right. Most people don't have one of these lying around. So all you need to do is get a towel and roll it up, something like that, or a mat or a blanket. So something that is a little bit raised that we can stand on. We're doing calf stretches on those. And another note, we will be getting down onto the floor. We'll be lying down on our backs. We'll be getting onto our hands and knees. So if that's not appropriate for you, if you can't get down to the floor, you don't want to, for whatever reason, I'll give you options seated on a chair. Now, I'm actually going to start sitting down, but only briefly. So if it is really hard to get down and get back up again, sit yourself on a chair now. If you're perfectly okay sitting on the floor, right, with your legs outstretched like this, you can have your hands behind you, whatever, come down here. If not, sit yourself on a chair and stretch your legs out like that. So let's get ourselves down to begin. And away we go. I'll be down here. It's exactly the same movement, sitting on your chair. You could be leaning back into the chair as well. But just know that you've got options. Another thing here is that if I'm doing too much of any one particular thing, or something that I'm doing doesn't feel right for you, it's painful, or you just need a rest, I'm doing too much, stop, have a rest. Maybe watch the rest of the class. Maybe you try the movements later on, or just stop and I don't stay too long in any one movement. So we change it and then join us again when you're ready. All right. So like I said, here your hands can be behind you. You can be more upright. Have a little bit of maybe a flex of your toes. Pull your toes in towards you, and then just bring your awareness to one leg and see if you can rotate your entire leg. Right. So by turning my foot one way, I want not just my foot to move, because that can move independently. I want to get my entire leg to roll out and roll in. That's what we call external rotation, internal rotation. Right, from this angle, it's out one way, in. And I'm just doing, have I got holes in my socks? I'm going to take those off. All right, out and in. All right, so let me just show you from the chair. All right, this leg, I'm seeing how much you can turn outwardly and inwardly. That's the movement that we're looking for. And how does it feel? Right. If you did this tomorrow, it might feel completely different. You might have a completely different range of movement than doing it today. Right, that's enough on the one leg. Let's try the other one. Right, so do the same thing on the other leg. You're going to rotate. And I'm really kind of flexing my toes because it just gives me a visual too, right? If I'm pulling my toes back to me, I see a bigger visual movement of what's happening in my leg. And sometimes we need that to connect in with the movement of our body, right? Can you get your whole thigh bone to move out and in? And then how does this leg, your second leg, compare to the first one that you did this movement with? Out and in. Do a couple more of those. I did quite a few more because I showed a couple of different positions on the first leg.
Yeah. All right. You got it. I'll let them go. Let's now just do some circles with your feet because it's a hips, knees, and ankles class. So your ankles are rotating around. I'm going the opposite way to each other. You can go anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm going to change direction the other way around. Again, is one foot easier to move than the other foot? What's the difference? Two more. And then staying with the feet, point your toes, scrunch them up together, try and get them squeezing together, flex them, right? Pull them back towards you and try to spread your toes apart from each other. You might be able to see better with my hands. So I'm going to scrunch and point, flex and spread, right? Point and scrunch, flex and spread. Have a look down at your toes. What's going on? Can you create space in between your toes when you flex them? Or do they not want to do that? It's okay if they don't. All of this is part of body awareness. Two more. And last one. And back. And now let's just rotate both legs at the same time. Right. I'm going like I did with those windscreen wipers with my feet. I'm going to go out and then in. You can go the same way if you prefer, but I'm going out and in. For some reason, it's easier for me to coordinate this way, right? Outwardly and inwardly. All right. So we've done quite a bit of this. The more movements you do, the more your body works out how to do those movements, and maybe you are able to increase the range that you have. Right, let's do two more. Okay, and then release, give a little shake, and then I'm going to come on up to standing. So no matter whether you're on the floor or whether you're sitting on a chair, get yourself up to standing. And then once we're up, what we want to do, and if this is too much, right, this one you can kind of sit down on a chair as well. Ideally, it's better standing, but you could do it some way, right? So we want to shift the weight back onto our heel so we could lift and spread all 10 toes, right? Spread them out and you're pressing down through the ball of your foot. That's just going to give you an instant kind of tripod stance in a way. So you've got weight on the heels, you've got weight underneath the big toe, the base of the big toe, and on the little toe. And then we're going to put the toes back down again. Then I'm going to shift, right? I'm going to keep my left foot down. I'm going to rotate to the outside edge, the little toe side of my right foot. I'm going to rotate it out, right? So I'm on the little toe side, the inside or the big toe side of my right foot has lifted up off the floor, and then I'm going to roll